me, my goal has always been to go out and to put on a great show and to do things that everyone thought was completely impossible. I hate to lose. I mean, I say freestyle is an expression. I don't think you can judge it. When I win, I'm satisfied, I'm happy, but when I lose, I'm pissed. I go home, I work harder, and I figure out a way to get back on top. You look at the guy that finishes last at this Red Bull X Fighters, 2 years ago he would have won. Maybe even last year. I mean, it's amazing how quick the sport progresses, and you have to be willing to sacrifice everything and willing to put everything on the line if you want to be competitive. As far as injuries go, I mean, I definitely had more than most. I mean, right now I had surgery a month ago on my knee, and that thing's still swollen, and get it drained about every time before I go riding. You know, I've had 9 knee surgeries on my left knee, 2 on my back, 2 on my elbow, 2 on my wrist. It's twos. Everything comes in twos, I guess. You know, the funniest thing with Mexico, I had 2 concussions back to back. I was throwing up for 2 weeks coming into Mexico. Went to the doctor, they said, don't ride for the rest of the year, you know, this and that. And then I stopped throwing up, my head felt clear. And 3 days before the event, I rode and I felt all right. I'm like, I'm going. So I talked to my doctors, they're like, look, if you land on your head again, that could be it. So I'm taking it easy, you know, I'm mellow, and then the crowd gets roaring and I start going. I messed up on the way to this jump. And I thought, if I go around this, I'm gonna lose. So I hit it anyway. And landed right on my head, knocked out cold. But luckily the doctors weren't right, and I'm still 100% as far as I'm concerned, so it's all worth it, you know. I just love going out there and pushing yourself, and you know, about once or twice a year you step up and you really find out what you're made of. Everything's a calculated risk. I mean, you know, to me, that's part of the sport is analyzing risk and versus reward and figure out what's worth it to you. And you know, for me, at certain times, certain tricks are worth it, and at certain times they're definitely not. The double flip is basically something that, if you have the right setup, it's possible. I wanted to prove at X Games that I could do it in a competition format, but it's stupid. It's not that hard, but if you mess up the takeoff, if you mess up any part of the rotation, you're not going to really know it until you're unconscious, laying there paralyzed, dead, broken back, broken neck, whatever it may be. You know, I love riding, I love pushing the envelope. However, coming out here every weekend and putting everything on the line is not something that I feel like is important enough to me at this point in my life to continue to do that. So, you know, I definitely want to race cars, but freestyles maybe back down a little bit.